start. I rise not to reply to the various points that have been made in the debate, but merely to add my voice to the feelings that I have heard being expressed in this august house. The growing sense of insecurity among people from the northeast living in different parts of our country is very reprehensible. All of us should work together to bring this situation under control without any further loss of time. I commit from the government to work with all like-minded people to create a feeling of security among the people of the Northeast residing in various parts of the country. They have as much right as anyone else to live, to earn, and to study at whatever place they may go. The unity and integrity of our country is being threatened by certain elements. Without apportioning blame, I would urge this House to send a message loud and clear to all the people of the Northeast residing in different parts of our country that our people are one. We will do everything to provide security to the people of the Northeast residing in various parts of our country. This obligation we will discharge to the best of our ability, with all political parties joining hands to send out a clear message to the people of the Northeast. We will work to restore peace and amity so that this feeling of insecurity is brought under control. At the onset, I would like to thank my honorable colleagues who have participated very productively in the discussion that has been brought forward in the form of a resolution. The issue is about establishment of a central university in the state of Bihar. This has been under discussion and debate for quite some time. In the garb of discussion, various aspects and facets of the education sector in our country have been touched upon by the honorable members. The three cornerstones of the education sector in our country have always been the accessibility, quality, and equity. We have never lost focus of these three very important areas. Talking about accessibility, according to the 2001 census, the gross enrollment ratio in our higher educational institutions was around a little over 12%. But today, it has increased to close to 18%. If you look at the 11th plan period, our allocation for education has been increased enormously. Rightly, the 11th plan period has always been referred to as the education plan because the allocation for education in the 11th plan period is around 19% of the gross budgetary support. Honorable members have spoken about the various aspects of which I had mentioned earlier. The most important aspect is the regional disparity. Some regions in our country do not have the number of institutions required to cater actually to the children living in those areas. If you look at the north, south, and the southern India, the private sector had stepped in very early. They actually supplemented the efforts of the government, more particularly in technical education there. So this definitely brought in a lot of regional disparity. Also, when we look at the establishment of the central universities in our country, it was noticed that there was a regional disparity and not that every state had a central university. So, with the commencement of the 11th plan period, the decision was consciously taken that 30 central universities would be established in the country. 16 central universities would be established in such states which did not have the central university. It has been widely acknowledged that quality education in the central universities is definitely superior, and therefore these central universities are expected to be the examples for state universities to follow and to emulate. It was under that context that Bihar was also identified as one of the states which would definitely need to have a central university. There have been concerns raised by some honorable members that the state universities have not been receiving the right kind of support which is essential to ensure that their infrastructure is in place and they would impart quality education through the infrastructure. When we talk of public expenditure and we talk of 6% of the GDP as an allocation for education, we must not forget that public expenditure would include expenditure not only by the government of India but also by the state governments as well. The government of India has been consciously increasing its own allocation for education. Therefore, it is very important that the state governments must realize and increase their own allocations for their universities. There are various other programs and interventions that we are making to actually address the problems of regional imbalance. I am sure the honorable members are aware of the backward districts where we intend to establish model colleges which would actually make education accessible to the children.